All right, this time I'm going to actually wait until the screen comes up. So let's see. All right, come on, delay. There we go. And I see spin, spin, spin. Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday night. We are all here. Or at least those of us who are tired, worn out, and had a busy day, right? Glad to see everybody, at least your names in chat, and hoping to hear from y'all. So I hope you all had a wonderful Saturday. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm beat. Mrs. P got cucumbers in, so we were tilling another one of the gardens. I had to make 9 more tomato cages. Got more concrete work done on the smokehouse. Got all the gardens washed. Got a haircut. So it was a busy day, but gorgeous weather, and sat out on the porch with my vino. We're doing cranberry tonight, and let the dogs play for about an hour. It's just an absolutely gorgeous night. Maybe 70, 72 here before the sun went down. And it was like, okay, I can now relax and come spend the evening with my family here. So very, very, very happy to have you all here. It's been one of those weeks for everybody. I will give you this. This is one of those weeks where thank God I'm a prepper, because Mrs. P and I got whacked with something. We had, I'll just give you the quick story. We had going out and working in the gardens, and she was working in her flower gardens, and pulled up a weed last week, and in the weed was subterranean termites. I was like, oh crap. Y'all seen the outside of my house. My house is wood. Okay. The inside of my house is wood. The whole house is wood. Last thing we need to see is termites. So I got the exterminator out and everything like that. Of course, they want to inspect the house. And so, of course, go, hit the crawl space. And, for those of you who don't know how things are built in Tennessee, we're not on slabs or anything like that. There's a crawl space under the house. Okay. So just a couple of cinder blocks high, level it out, and I'm on the side of a mountain as is. Anyway, so they got in there, took pictures in the back side of my house, the high point of the mountain. There's water damage. And so we had to get a crawl space / basement company out here to take a look at it. And so we got whacked with a $9,700 bill this week to fix this. Otherwise, I'm not. We're not. I don't want to see the backside of my house cave in. So that's the joy that we get to go through. So this is one of those things where you prep for the worst, and it's like, okay, so we have the ability to save some money because maybe we don't have to go to the grocery store and all that sort of stuff. So, it's one of those things I say to preppers is, okay, we all think about Armageddon, pick one, whether it's war or famine or economic or Martians or whatever the hell it is. It doesn't always work that way. Sometimes you have your, as we've all put it, your personal SHTF. And I was like, okay, so we got our personal SHTF this week. And it's like, okay, I don't know about anybody else, but I can't write a check for 10 grand. So we had to figure out how to do this one. But, beside the point. But, it's one of those things where you got to do it. So, this is where prepping comes into advantage. We can save some money on groceries that can go toward this or whatever, because it's all in the pantry. So, but yeah, so that was it. But yes, so we got a lot done today. I've got a lot more to do tomorrow, more concrete work, and got to put some edging in around some of Mrs. P's flower gardens. And, I'll say this to everybody, flower gardens are very important if you have vegetable gardens. And I know everybody goes, holy crap, why? Well, you need to attract those pollinating bugs, okay, the bees and, whatever it would be. So flowers are very good for your vegetable gardens. So just that being said, so yes, I sat out on the porch today and I was like, okay, you know what? I busted my ass all day. I busted my ass all week. I got kicked in the teeth a couple of times. Let's go chill out and just sit back on the porch and say, okay, you know what? This is what we put together. This is what we're doing. And look around and go, I'm proud of what we got going on. Sure, there's going to be bumps in the road, and there's bumps in the road for all of us. But if you look at the big picture, you get through it. Okay. Glad to hear everybody got something out of this morning's video. It was kind of important for me to say. It's a little bit of my personal life, and I don't speak with my family anymore. I mean, I know that's tough for a lot of people. I mean, it's tough for me. I haven't spoken to my family, with the exception of my cousin, in almost 7 years. And not because of me, but because of my choice, but because of their attitude. And like I said, you have to come up. There comes a point in everybody's life where you go, I'm sick and tired of being belittled, kicked in the teeth, questioned, everything like that. And like I said in the video this morning, 47, 48 years old, somewhere thereabouts when this happened. And my life got immensely better. So, I appreciate the comments that many of you wrote on this morning's video, because those meant a lot to me. That it's like, oh my God, I'm not sitting out here on an island all by myself. As much as you guys listen to me, I listen to you guys. And I don't want you ever to forget that. Just because I have the podium here, it doesn't mean I have all the answers. And, a lot of what you guys say really resonates with me and does a lot for me as well. So please understand that. I appreciate all the effort that you guys put into writing something to me, to the group, to whatever it would be, is heartfelt, very much so. So, okay. So there's my little different speech today. No news, just kind of a personal thought that it's kind of what's spinning through the squirrel cage up here. So, all right. So I wanted to say hi to the gang, but I'm going to start with this one. To my moderators, and obviously Jacob's in here. I thought I saw North Shore pop in. Patriot Sandwich Makers in here. I thought I saw North Shore in here somewhere. Maybe not. Maybe he is. There he is. Okay. All right. I need you all to do me a favor. I need you, my moderators, I need you to shoot me an email. I have something I need to ask of my mods. So if you'd all be so kind as to send me an email so I can contact you, I would greatly appreciate it. Go from there. Somebody, and it might already be gone, somebody said something about their puppy here at the very beginning, getting into it with a wildlife creature. I hope the puppy's doing well. Y'all know where my heart is when it comes to dogs. Mrs. P had turned on the movie Twister, if you've all seen it beforehand, and seen it before. And there's that scene at the beginning of the movie where everybody's running into the storm shelter and the dog's outside. And I kind of laughed and I looked at her. I said, yeah, that'd never happen around here. I said, because the dogs would be in the shelter before we are. So yeah, prayers for your puppy. Okay. Make sure everything's okay. Okay. All right. So I will say hi to everybody, 400 people in here. Again, hello, everybody. Glad to see you all. So let's just kind of jump in because it's already 10 after, and I don't want to go through a whole lot of stuff. I'm wiped out, guys, if you can't tell already. But same old, please ask anything you want, PG-13 stuff. Please put all your questions in all caps, and understand I try to go through as many as I can, but I start from the top, so I'm behind. So if you're putting something in there, I may not even see it for 10 minutes. Let it go from there. But I ask more than anything else, please, please, please put the questions in all caps because I skip over the stuff in lowercase. I understand that's conversations between y'all. And I'm more than thrilled that you guys are having those as I'm talking. But just to make my life easier, please put the questions in caps. So, all right, let's get into it. And I'm going to go right from where I can start here. Treasures in Kentucky says, I got lots planted today in Kentucky, feeling accomplished. Yes, it's that busy time of year. And, when you walk into the house at the end of the day and you go, I'm wiped out, but look what I got done. And like I said, I mean, for me sitting on the porch or whatever, and you go, damn, I'm proud of myself for what I did today. I mean, that was after me saying, damn, I'm not 25 anymore. But, yes, feeling accomplished, feeling proud of yourself. And I mean, I don't care if you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, if you can accomplish something throughout the day that leads to the betterment of your life, you just did anything and everything that any person or God could possibly ask of you. And, so yes, feeling accomplished, take a lot of pride in that. Big Bear Prep says, hello, Pinball and everyone. Hello back to you, Big Bear. I'm going to take a guess you're out in California somewhere. Maybe not, maybe Big Bear. Let's see what we got. Scrolling down. Matthew Trucking, howdy from Houston, Texas. The rain stopped for a while. Heard you guys were getting dumped on today. I think I'm supposed to get that on Monday. So, which is fine for me. It can rain all week. I don't care. Saturday, Sunday, when I don't have to work, please give me some nice weather so I can get some stuff done. Because otherwise, especially with the smokehouse and this concrete work, I can't really do concrete work in the rain. And I don't feel like having this smokehouse take me 6 months to build. Patty Bob is here. Greetings from Germany. Okay, I love when we get. I mean, I love everybody. Don't get me wrong, but I love when I see where people say where they're from. When it's outside of. If you're telling me you're in the U.S., and you're in Oregon, you're in Hawaii, you're in Maine, whatever it is. I mean, I love hearing that. I think y'all remember when we did the 10,000 subscriber giveaway. We had representation from every state in the union, and I love that. And I know like North Shore is from Canada, and there's a couple others from Canada, and I know we get Down at Boddington Farm and a couple other ones. Just Exploring Every Path is from Australia. David's down from Mexico. I love hearing that. But I mean, one that was really, or two actually, that were really cool to me this week were we had a couple of people from the Czech Republic. And that was really cool to me because my background is, my heritage is Czech and Polish, but B, the army, the language I was taught to be an interrogator was Czech. So, and God knows I haven't used it forever. Okay. So it's, extremely rusty, but it's like, okay, I see somebody from the Czech Republic and I can actually reply in Czech, and that's kind of cool to me. So, that teeny little bit of stuff that I still have there. So just fun. Prepper Brian Keith, we had B-52s flying over today in our city, was watching with binoculars. It was an air show, or, I got to think something like that going on. But yeah, watching the some of the military aircraft go by is intimidating and just exhilarating, I guess would be the other word. August Blue, picked my first zucchini of the year today. Congratulations, because I haven't even put mine in the garden yet. They were supposed to go in today. They'll probably go in tomorrow. But yeah, the fact that you're already getting vegetables, I should be getting peas here pretty quick. My peas are about 3.5 feet high up the trellis, and they're flowering like crazy. So, but again, that's cold weather stuff. My cabbage is looking astronomical. The broccoli's looking good. So, the cold weather stuff for us that's still where we are. Let's see. Justin Wynn, thoughts on prepping freeze-dried seeds? Uh, Frozen seeds are okay. I know a lot of people profess putting their seeds in the freezer. Freeze-dried? I don't think, I think you kill them when you do that. My answer, yay or nay, would be nay. Again, as long if you have seeds and you put them, put them in a regular white paper envelope, seal it, put it in a drawer somewhere, they'll last you 4, 5, 6 years. You're not going to get 100% germination. It's going to go down, but it's not like, after 12 months, the seed goes, you know what, I'm done. You still plant seeds that are, 5 or 6 years old, and you're still going to get halfway decent germination out of them. So, like I've said many times, don't ever throw away seeds. Plant them. If they don't come up, what are you out? Big deal. You watered some dirt for a while. Okay. But if they do come up, great. But freeze drying them, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I think you're killing the seed. Teresa, pay monthly for termite protection. Yeah, we've got the termite stuff going on again. I canceled our termite protection last year when I lost my job, and it was like, okay, we cut bills and everything like that somewhere. So that was one of them. So, now it's like, okay, got to get it back going again. Let's see. Jam at the Nut House. According to BG, those bugs are your protein. Yeah, Bill can eat them all himself, okay, because I'm not eating bugs. Okay, that's why I have gardens. Robert Winslow, that's a good analogy. You and Mrs. P were prepared. It's not an analogy. It's a fact. And God knows in the last year or so, a lot of people have realized this. It's like, crap, I lost my job or something happened, and, you got a big car repair, whatever it would be. How can you pay for it? And, it's like I just said about the bugs, it's like, where's the money going to come from? Where can I cut something? And okay, so we can cut the money from groceries because I've got it there. And eventually when that's paid off, we'll go back and restock. But hey, it's also rotating food and doing whatever. And we've got food put back, so I can cut my grocery bills, a couple $100 a month, and that'll help to pay it. It's going to whack into a lot of the other stuff we got going on, but so be it. Okay. That's living. That's part of life. You read all the stories about, most people can't come up with $400 for an emergency. Okay. Oh, at least I can come up with $400 for an emergency, 10 grand. Okay. That's a little different story, but I'll still get through it. No big deal. It's like, okay, credit cards or whatever it is. And then we'll just pay those things off as quick as we can and we're good. But it's what's got to be done. So prep. Again, emergency, SHTF can be this big. It can be this big. There are personal SHTFs and, you deal with them. Okay. There's David. I knew he'd be in here somewhere. Saying, Buenas noches, mi querida. I don't know querida. Okay. Been way too long since I think it was 8th and 9th grade Spanish. So ain't going back that far. Let's see. South Colorado Stetter, very nice video this morning. Thank you. That was a little, very different. And I didn't mean it. A couple of people said it was like a Sunday sermon, and that wasn't what I'm trying to do. The whole point of that video was to give you guys a little bit more insight into me and what makes me tick. Because a lot of you guys listen to me every day, and I try to be as open and honest as I can be about who I am, and I think you guys have a right to know that. up to a point. But, I'm not going to sit there and say, this is my bank balance. Here's my credit card number. But, if you're going to listen to me, I think you have a genuine right to know my background. And I'm not ashamed of it. Sure, there's mistakes we all made in my life. God knows, I don't walk on water. So, I've made many, many, many bad mistakes in my life. And I've told you about a few of them. But, the thing that I want everybody to do is kind of learn from it. And that was just me saying to everybody, I finally got to a point, and I'll just give you this, okay? The final nut came down with this whole thing when I finally said to my folks, I'm not 15 anymore. I was pushing 50, and they were still treating me like I was a 12-year-old. And I'm like, I'm done with this, and they got all offended. It was like, no, you need to do what we tell you. I'm like, almost said the F word. But I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm 50, 48 years old. I'm not doing with that, and I was like, then we're done. And that was 7 years ago. And life has gotten a whole lot better ever since I said, I'll make my own path in life, and I'm not going to worry about your acceptance anymore. Not something that everybody can do. I'm not asking everybody to do. I wanted you to understand where I'm coming from and say, this is just what I see as, a path to freedom. And a lot of you guys had talked about the same things. It was like, and the funny part was a lot of you guys were roughly the same age when you were finally like, to hell with it. I'm sick and tired of trying to prove myself to everybody else. And I'm going, we're 2/3 of the way through life. Why the hell did we realize it now? You should be realizing this when you're 22, not 50. But beside the point. So, it tells you how far I'm behind. GMA says, "Oh my God, I'm 6 minutes late. What did I miss?" I was like, okay, well, it's 9:22, so it tells you I'm 16 minutes behind already. All right, so let's see. I'm scrolling on through here. CKOC, I bought 6 fruit trees that are 5 to 6 foot tall for $94 and lots of veggies. Built a raised bed. Nice. 6 fruit trees, $94. That's actually a good price. Yeah, usually you get them around $20 a pop, $25 a pop. You're getting them for what, about 17? So yeah, that's a good price. I hope to God you made sure that they were self-pollinating. Okay, because otherwise, I hope to God you got the pollinators for them, because fruit tree without a pollinator is useless. Let's see. Old Rider, you're the only person you have to live with. Their laws be free. Yeah, very true. Okay. At the end of the day, the only one who goes, and even Mrs. P, the only one who is responsible for me is me. Okay. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's me. Yes, I'm responsible for her. Yes, she's responsible for me. But at the end of the day, you're only responsible for yourself. We can get 99% with a spouse, with a kid, with whatever, but ultimately, the only one's 100 is yourself. Chief Jim, glad you speak to us daily. We appreciate you and Mrs. P. I appreciate you guys. And it kind of works both ways, guys. I talk to you because, there's things I want to get off my chest, okay? And there's only so much Mrs. P can listen to before she's kind of like, I don't want to hear anymore. But a lot of what you guys hear is the chance for me to think, okay, to process something. I'll see some information. I'll read some. I learn a lot just because of what I'm trying to tell you guys. It forces me to go out and dig even deeper and deeper and deeper, which is good for my knowledge because, as you all know, I want to give you guys the most accurate information I can. So it forces me to go out and see something and go, this doesn't sound right. Let me go double check it, triple check it. Okay, let me figure this out. And then I'll find two or three different articles or whatever, and I've got to analyze it, and that's good for my brain, okay, and for me understanding. So, doing this, like I said, as much as Jim said there, benefits you guys. It benefits me a lot too. It helps keep me sane because otherwise, the dog doesn't want to hear that much. Okay, let's see. Lorna P says, better not to be around toxic family. I grew up in one. So, I mean, from my grandparents to my parents to my brother to, I grew up in a very toxic family. Teresa, thank you for saying that. I'm not the best anything. Okay. I'm just me, and I try to do the best I can, but God knows I'm not the best anything. And RBF Cast says, yes, we are family. Absolutely, we are family. I mean, that's it. I mean, I count on you guys, for a lot of stuff, just like you guys count on me for. You guys keep me sane. Whether y'all believe that or not, it's like, I need a break. And it's like, okay, I'm going to go read some of the comments because everybody can go, oh crap, I've had a hard day. And then I read some of the stories that you guys have had and go, okay, I did this compared to what you just had happen today. Somebody mentioned in comments today about walking out and finding some guy unloading their shed and having it all in their pickup truck. It's like, yeah, okay, I could have a shitty day, but to walk out and find that, fortunately that they caught the guy, but things can be a lot worse, and I mean, I don't even want to get into, the deaths of family members and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, I try to remember this every day in my life. And on the worst day of my, when I sit down in my chair at the end of the day and go, I had the worst day ever, I guarantee there's a million people that had a day worse than me. And I try to remember that. Go, okay, don't have a pity party or anything like that. You'll get through it. If they can get through it, you can get through it. So, okay, I got to scroll back up because as I'm getting yammering, things go along through. TB, thoughts on the Arizona audit? If fraud found in other states follow suit, potential for civil unrest. Yeah, it's gonna make it real ugly. Let's put it this way: if they find fraud in there, that's gonna open up a big can of worms. It's not going to get 46 out of the White House. Okay, so as much as Q wants to tell you that, you hear every other, this day, it's not going to happen. All right, Trump's already said he's probably going to run in 2024. He'll probably get reelected in a landslide unless, as his comment was, he goes, I'll just have to win for the third time. And he's right. Okay. But we'll see how it all works out. What I hope with the Arizona audit is it opens enough eyes to get rid of Dominion, get rid of these internet connected things, and maybe it tells some states, you know what, we're going back to paper ballots. Remember the Scantron things that we all had in high school, and if you're old enough, college and stuff like that, with a little fill in with a number 2 pencil and they run it through. Why the hell can't they do that for an election? That wasn't connected to the internet. God knows there wasn't the internet in the 1980s when I went, when I was in high school. Okay. But, you could run it through a Scantron and in 2 seconds you had the answer. Why not do those with ballots? Okay. And poof, here, I mean, because again, the Scantron would be able to tell the teacher, high school or whatever, professor, college, here was your average grade, here was blah, 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 and were there mistakes? Sure, because the question wasn't right enough. All right, come on. This is real simple. R, D, G, L, C. Okay? not, and Republican, Democrat, what did I say? Libertarian, Green Party, and Communist. Okay, pretty much the major parties, if you will. There's not a whole lot of room for error, but we need to get you have to show ID. I don't care. Do it this way. You want to vote? Here's a beer. Oh, you want that beer? Good. You got to be 21. Poof. Okay, show me that you're who you are. They'll never explain that to me, that you can't have voter ID. I won't get in there. But yeah, if fraud is found in Arizona and other states start digging into this, because remember, you guys got to remember this one. Doesn't mean there's not fraud both ways. Okay, I want everybody to remember that. It is possible that it goes both ways. And, should things be audited? Yeah, 2, 3, 4 times. But we'll see how that one comes up. But I worry about the civil unrest. But I don't think just because of Arizona, it's going to, it's Arizona, okay? It's Maricopa County. Look at the average age in Maricopa. What are they going to, everybody going to run around shaking their teeth at you going, no? And I'm kidding for all of you guys in Arizona. The reason I say that is because my grandparents lived in Sun City back in the 70s. So just funny. Voodoo Queen Herbalism. We're all one family around the world. Yes, please. Thank you. Okay. I could not agree with you more, because I guarantee you that the people in North Korea, the people in China, the people in Russia, the people in Iran, okay, really, they don't want war. The public does not want war. Yeah, you've got the lunatic fringe, okay, thank you, David Bowie, but no, it wasn't even David Bowie. Who the hell was that? All right, somebody's going to tell me. Damn, now that's going to stick in my head. People don't want war. Because they're the ones that, the politicians aren't the ones that houses get run over, okay? Trust me, Putin's sitting there in the Kremlin, Biden's sitting there in the White House, and that's not where, the battle comes through. The battle comes through Charleston, South Carolina, or wherever the hell it would be, okay? And all those people are the ones that get run over, shot, killed, burned out, and everything like that. And the politicians go, well, you do this. And the people are going, crap. So, the people don't want it. And anywhere. And I see Wendy Salas from the Philippines. Hello. The people around the world don't want to fight. Which kills me, because you've got 1/10 of the population, the politicians, who want all this crap, and the 99.9% of the people in the world go, can't we all just get along? For the most part, people don't even care. All right. You tell me the last time that you got up in the morning, have your cup of coffee, and said, gee, you know what? I wonder how the people in Argentina are doing today. You probably haven't thought about that ever, okay? Because they're happy doing their thing, you're happy doing their thing, and that's it. That's all it is. And I agree with VQH here. We are one family around the world. We just all want to live our lives with as little craziness as possible. Melanie says Czech and Polish. I'm assuming that's you being Czech and Polish, because obviously I already told you I'm Czech and Polish. Kevin R., what are my thoughts on the Golden Horde? Do you think the range and threat is overstated compared to the danger of small bands of marauders who can move quick for a resource? I think it's way overstated, okay? Again, you're talking about pipe dreams, I give no credence to it. Let's put it that way. Big Bear Preps. My nickname was always Big Bear, and I'm in Ohio. Real name is Barry. Okay. All right. So much for Big Bear. Okay. So greetings, not from California, from Ohio. At least you're in a little bit more realistic state. Let's see. Robert Winslow, Busch Light and popcorn, you're prepared. Okay, well, I do the Busch non-alcoholic, so it's lighter than light, but let's see, what do we got? Jen Boyle says her potatoes have leaves. I went out and watered mine today. That was the very last thing. I was sitting out with my truck driving through the yard because I had cinder blocks working on the other smokehouse. That's what it's called. And she comes out. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I had to water the potatoes." And I'm just sitting out here relaxing. But yeah, ours are probably 6-8 inches high already. So not bad. I'm taking that for a week. Small family, small budget. I have a black thumb, but have friends that do very well gardening. It's practice, okay? And I will tell you this, if you start with seeds, don't worry about the cost. I mean, even though seeds will cost, I mean, you can buy seeds at the dollar store for 25 cents a pack or whatever. Practice, try. Mrs., what did you say the cost of a tomato plant was today? Yeah, so we were at Rural King today, and I want to get some more 5-gallon buckets and bird seed and everything, Mrs. P feeding the birds. And she saw they've got out in front, all their seedlings. And she said their tomato plants were $17 a piece. Now, think about this. A tomato plant, regular tomatoes, okay? You might get 20 tomatoes off of it. Maybe a little bit more depending on, but let's just say 20. So you're going to pay $17 for the plant, hoping you can keep it alive, spending the money on the fertilizer, on the water, on the time, yada, yada, yada. But just for the plant, that's $1 a tomato. Grown from seed. Try. I mean, if you fail, figure out what you did wrong and do it better next time. I mean, I told you a couple of weeks ago, we went to Walmart and looked at the plants and everything like that. I mean, not that we were going to buy them, but we just want to look at them because we compare what they're selling to what we grew from seed. And I look at this and go, these things suck. And then we went to Walmart and they were all dead. They left them out in the freeze. But even then we looked at the plants that were at Rural King today. Mrs. P was looking at the cucumbers because she planted her cucumbers today. And these look sad. Yeah. And they wanted $2 a pop per plant. Okay. Fine. A month and a half ago, whenever it was, we planted our cucumber seeds, got nice cucumber plants and, save the money. Practice. Okay. I mean, what are you really out if you go buy, like I said, dollar store, go buy, pack of seeds for 25 cents or whatever it would be. If you kill them, if none of them work, you're out a quarter. Big deal. Okay. If you buy 4 packs, you're out $1. Congratulations. You're out a can of Coke. Literally, that's what it is. Okay. So there's your risk reward. Maybe I get my tomatoes, my cucumbers, my peppers, and my zucchini for the same amount of money that I could buy a can of Coke for. And if none of them work, if you killed everything, you're out a can of Coke. But if you grow and get a couple of tomatoes, a couple of peppers, or whatever it would be, you're way ahead of the game. And then you learn. And like Mrs. P and I said, we're still learning. This is our second full year of growing in Tennessee. And we're trying to figure out what works well here, what doesn't work. And we will, after this year, know, okay, this doesn't work, this does work. And, and then we'll not try to grow the stuff that doesn't work, and we will grow more of the stuff that does work. It's practice. That's all it is. It's trial and error. I mean, I'm no master gardener. I'm knowledgeable, but I'm not a master gardener by any means. I mean, I've been successful, but like anything else in your life, you try it. If it works, you keep doing it. If it doesn't work, you stop. That's it. So just because you say you have a black thumb, then figure out how to way to turn it into a green thumb. I mean, that's all practice. Like anything else in life, that's the only way you get better at something. Kelly, holistically rooted, tried out a water siphon for the first time today to water the garden. Planning water catchment with hubby, who's now on board. Woohoo! You got hubby on board. Good. Okay. You know, you got some water catchment. You got a siphon pump, whatever it would be. I mean, or even a pump. I mean, you can suck through a hose and make your own siphon if you want. But yeah, I mean, however you do, if you can, you're doing it. That's what I was just saying. You're doing it. You're learning. How can I do this at little to next to no cost? I mean, I don't know if you live in the country, if you live in the city, whatever it is. But if you got a water catchment and it's like, and you're living on city water, great. You just watered your garden. You don't have a single bill for it. If you live in the country, great. It's still, you got, a resource that you're not wasting. Redeem Blues rock guitarist. Do you prep store-bought canned meats? Yes, I do. What do I have? I have God knows how many different kinds of generic spam upstairs between treats and everything like that, regular spam. Probably about 6 different brands was whatever's on sale. Y'all laughed at me for the amount of ravioli I've got up there. I've got corned beef hash. I've got canned beef. I've got God knows how many canned hams. The little canned hams, not the massive ones, the little ones. Tuna fish, mackerel. I mean, all sorts of different canned meats. And we use them, canned chicken. I mean, God knows canned chicken. I mean, I've got tons of canned chicken. The only thing that I worry about, and again, this is for me because I've got high blood pressure, okay, is when you got those canned foods, there's a higher sodium content, okay? Mrs. P loves salt. Me, I try to stay away from it. And because, I don't want to croak. But, you look at canned meats and you're going to need those proteins. Now, in an SHTF situation, you're going to be working like crazy. You're going to be sweating out those salts. So that's not going to be as bad. In our sedentary lifestyle that we have now, if you're eating canned chicken and ravioli and everything like that, now you're going to balloon up. But in an SHTF situation, yeah, it's definitely worth having because you're going to need those salts because you're going to sweat like crazy. But doesn't mean you just put them in the pantry and forget about them. Okay, because eventually they go bad. Do I eat a can of ravioli every once in a while, or do we pop a can of chicken out every once in a while? Sure, because A, we got to rotate the stuff, and B, sometimes it's like, holy crap, it's 5:30. What are we doing for dinner? It's like we forgot to take something out to thaw it out. It's like, okay, let's make, chicken and pasta or whatever. Great, I'll just grab a can of chicken and we can boil up some pasta, and poof, dinner's ready in 15 minutes. As opposed to something else. But that's part of the rotating thing too. So, I've said this a million times. Not what I do is not going to be necessarily what works for you. I'll give you the ideas that I do, and you tailor them. Go, that works great for me. Pinball's nuts. There's no way in the world we can do that. Okay, and that's fine. There isn't a direction. This isn't a recipe. You need to do this, then this, then this, then this. Okay. Take Angry Prepper and me. I live in the country. He lives in New York City in an apartment. Do you honestly think that the two of us prep the same? No. Why? Because we have total different lifestyles. Okay. Total different scenarios here. I still listen to his videos and he still gives me good information. Some of it is completely pertinent to me. Others, doesn't make a lick of difference. But I still want to learn because maybe something that he says I can translate into how it would work for me. Let's see. Chris, how many years can seeds last? Well, I've heard stories of seeds that they've pulled out of the Egyptian pyramids that they've planted and grown. So that would tell you centuries. Uh, it depends on the germination rate. I mean, it, like I said, never hurts to plant them. If they don't grow, fine, you water dirt for a couple of weeks. If they do grow, then you got something. Your germination rate is going to get worse over time. But if they can plant stuff that they found in the pyramids, then seeds could last for a long time. Billy the cab driver, how do you think Russia will react if Ukraine is granted membership in NATO? Apparently, NATO is currently considering it. Russia's not going to be happy. Let's put it this way. Will they go on the offensive because of it? No, that would be foolish. Yeah, well, and Mrs. P's chiming in. She goes, before it happens, there'll be a war with Ukraine. That's Mrs. P's comment there on that one. So, let's see. I'm trying to catch up because we got 15 minutes and I'm not even halfway down here. So I'm going to try to kind of go rapid fire here. Tanya Bednarczyk, stocking up on protein. I heard there will be shortages. Your thoughts? Yeah. Yes, good idea. Shortages / meat prices are going to go through the freaking roof this summer. So yeah, if you can put it away, stock up on anything you can. I mean, and again, mind you, protein is just not your chicken, beef, pork, okay? That's your peanut butter. That's your sunflower seeds. That's, anything, your dried beans. I mean, we all know the price of beans has gone up nearly double since a year ago, okay? Pinto beans or whatever. Keep putting it away because it ain't going down anytime soon. Tina Hutchins, why a white envelope? I'm just saying because a white, your letter size envelope is just standard. You could put it in a yellow envelope or anything. All you're trying to do is keep the light out of it. That's what you want to do. Just don't put it in plastic. Plastic's not going to do you any good. But a white envelope doesn't make a lick of difference. Like I said, yellow envelope, you could fold it up in a piece of newspaper, for all that matters. Just you don't want light getting to the seeds. Kelly 61, Ram, we're in New Hampshire. How do we deal with black flies and mosquitoes? Yeah, I lived in New Hampshire for a year. Okay. How to deal with black flies? I remember them up there. They ain't fun. Mosquitoes, build yourself a bat house. Okay. And I mean, all it is it's a bird house, just your regular, if you build it maybe a foot high and maybe about 6 inches square. So it's a long rectangle. And to build a bat house, you just put a slit. Okay. Where in a bird house, you put a hole. If you just put a slit in there for a bat house, and it's maybe about 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 inch thick, put a bat house maybe, I don't know, a couple 100 yards from your house. Bats eat something like 10,000 mosquitoes a day or a night, okay? That is the best way to get rid of mosquitoes. We've got bats flying around here. It's funny, they'll come out at dusk, and they've actually flown under the porch when I'm sitting there. I mean, literally getting close to me, within a couple of feet. We don't have much of a mosquito problem. Why? Because we have bats. David Williams, just a comment. We all listen to you because you're intelligent, nice, and straight to the point. Should you ever find yourself in Mexico, you're welcome here, amigo. Well, thank you, David. I don't know. Right now, going to Mexico, I'd be afraid of coming back. So that would be a problem. But I've been to Cozumel, I've been to Cancun, never been to Acapulco, and I don't remember where you are, but I want to say you're not on the coast somewhere. Camperman says a $6,000, I'm assuming dollar roof. Yeah, so you know exactly what I'm talking about in personal SHTF. South Colorado Center, I'll run your videos 24/7 on my extra desktop. Thanks, but not appreciate the offer. Rooster, living for today, prepping for tomorrow. Thank you. Okay. And I've said this a million times. Guys, please, please, please remember this. Prepping is a lifestyle, but it's not your life. Okay. Please go out and enjoy life otherwise. Okay. Go fishing, go watch the kids' baseball game, go to the movies, we went out and had dinner with friends last night. Okay. It's, you do this stuff. Okay. Enjoy your life while you got it. None of us are promised tomorrow. We all try to prep to make sure we have it tomorrow, but none of us is going to bed tonight knowing if we're going to wake up in the morning. So live your life while you got it. Just prep for what you got going forward. Huh? Oh, okay. Mrs. P just said Alaska Prepper popped in. So, hello, Rudy. Good to see you. She kind of lurks in the background, so she knows what's going on. And I'm halfway behind, so as per normal. I'm trying to catch up. Let's see. Camperman says, "Oh, you have common sense," which is rare. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's one of the big things I try to bring out in this channel is using common sense. Scott Daney, are the people that live around you preppers too? Up on the top of the mountain, yes. Good friends of ours, part of our mag we are like this, okay, with that couple. The other ones that are nearby are somewhat, but not near. Yes, but again, I don't know how to put this. You have, some people that are 100% in, some people are 75, 50% or whatever it is. Up top of the mountain, that couple, they're 100% in with us. We are the best friends. Other people, a little, maybe not so much. Okay. But we still know, we still look out for each other. We still do certain things, but there's, how do you put this? That's a tough question. Yes, but not everybody. Okay. Let's see. Keith, thank you for the super chats. Way behind. Your videos and comments have helped me through a hard place lately. I'd like to buy you a beer. I appreciate that, Keith. And I've watched your videos and everything like that. And brother, I'm right there with you. I don't know the specific details because obviously you haven't told us those, but you're in my prayers. You know that. So, Rachel Sue says, "Thank you for today's video. It was encouraging and what I needed to hear." I hope so. Okay. It wasn't, that was the whole point. I put that out because I wanted people to realize that, we all do try sometimes to a fault too much. And we have to step back and go, wait a minute, what's the priority here? And as much as you want to help Aunt Nancy, who lives 3 states over, and Aunt Nancy's going, "You tinfoil hat little loser," screw Aunt Nancy, okay? You take care of you take care of your spouse, you take care of your kids, you take care of your pets. If more and more people come in to the fold, that's great. Now you're building a mag. But if somebody doesn't want to be in, like I said, I've given you the information. You chose to ignore it. At that point, I've done what I could to help you. Don't expect me to feed you, clothe you, house you, or whatever if something happens. Dana Nepsa, your video makes me respect you more. It makes you human. Never miss a video. thank you. I mean, y'all know why I'm here, okay? It's because I enjoy the camaraderie. I mean, the reason I call y'all family is because that's what you are, all right? I want to see as many of us come out the other side as possible. And I understand there's a whole lot of people that aren't going to come out the other side. But if we share information and share knowledge, I know things you guys don't. You guys know things that I don't. I mean, I've said a million times, the amount of things that I learn from you guys, the emails I get, or hey, go watch this, or, somebody's got this idea on how to do it. I look at as much of that stuff as I can. I mean, whether it's my food preservation, whether it's my gardening, whether it's my security, whether it's my weaponry, whatever it would be. And I learn a lot of this stuff. And I hope you guys do. I mean, trust me, first off, I know I'm not the only channel you want or you watch. And second off, I hope I'm not the only channel you watch. Okay, because God knows there's fabulous channels out there that have great information. And, the fact that, Mary watches A, B, and C, and Joe watches D, E, and F, and both of you guys come here and listen to me, and now all of us are sharing all this. That means now Mary, Joe, and me all have A, B, C, D, E, and F to share amongst each other. And it's like, holy crap, there's good information. I mean, I watch gardening channels, I watch weaponry channels, I watch security channels, I watch homesteading channels, I watch animal husbandry channels, and I don't even have any animals. Okay. Why? Because there may be one day where I'm going to need to go back and go, how was that done again? And I might have a little bit more knowledge than guessing. Let's see. Shannon Flaherty, was I the baby of the family? No, I have one brother and I was the oldest. Isn't that ironic? Okay. I always took care of my little brother. I mean, again, it kind of goes into this video. I always watched, he was 3 years younger than me, and I always protected him. And if he got in trouble, I was the one that took the blame for it. And I did that for the majority of my life. It was like, crap, I'll take the blame. It was like, wait a minute, why the hell am I taking all the blame and everybody else is getting off scot-free? Oh, okay. North Shore just brought up something about Constantine's channel, Letters to King. He put the link in here probably 15 minutes ago. Somebody said, I think it was Chief Jim, that Constantine's doing a live stream tomorrow, his first one. I don't know. I haven't heard this. Now, granted, I was out in the yard all day. So I've sent him an email. I want to know. Guys, if you don't know Constantine's channel, Letters to King, okay, that's his channel. And he is definitely a friend of the family here. He's our contact, if you will, in Russia, okay, that gives us everything that's going on in Moscow and also in Rostov-on-Don, which is down right where everything's going on in Ukraine. Okay, he's got houses in both places. Right now, he's down in Rostov, southern Russia. So if he's got a live stream tomorrow, and I mean, granted, there's a 8-hour time difference or whatever, so who knows? I mean, if he's doing it at noon his time, it could be 8 o'clock in the morning or whatever the hell time, but please do me a favor, support him, check out his videos. He does some great videos just for education wise on what it's like to be over there with Corona, with U.S. sanctions, with the political, with just what the Russian people are like, what life is there, which is very interesting, because we all grew up with the propaganda that was given to us. We all remember the babushkas, with everything was in gray and, food lines. You even see the commercials now, what is it? There's, I can't remember, some charity saying, showing this little old lady who's, just a little box of food. Okay, that's not the reality. Life is better there than the media wants to portray it does. Which brings me into something. I'll give you a real quick one here. Mrs. P and I were talking about this evening. Anybody remember the movie The Grapes of Wrath? Okay, or the book, if you read either one of them. I mean, Steinbeck wrote the book, after the Depression and the Okies all going west, the Dust Bowl and everything. And there was a movie that was made in 1940. I don't remember if it was Jimmy Stewart or Jimmy Cagney, one of the two. But now, mind you, 1940, Stalin was still running Russia, okay? And they showed The Grapes of Wrath in the theaters in Russia because the Communist Party, Stalin, wanted to show everybody how poor the American farmers were. The movie lasted about a week or so in the theaters in Russia because the Russian people all said, wait, the poor farmers have a car? And, it completely backfired on Stalin because the poverty over there was, you had an ox, and they're going, the poor farmer in the United States had a car. And the only people that had cars in Russia in 1940 or whatever would be your explorers, the person who made it to the North Pole, your illustrious politicians or whatever it is. And the people are watching this going, a farmer had a car. So, just something, food for thought. Oh my God, it's 10 o'clock already. North Shore, chime in and tell me if you are going on afterwards. I'm, as usual, running along. I'm kind of watching. Sean, let me know. I'm watching the. Oh, Henry Fonda. Okay, there we go. I was thinking Jimmy Stewart, Jimmy Cagney, and Rachel Sue says it was Henry Fonda. Okay. I'm sorry, I wasn't around in 1940. Let's see. I'm kind of trying to watch. My phone is up to date, and I'm kind of reading this, and I'm just trying to see if North Shore is going to go on afterwards. So,
I'll go leave in 15 or so.
Oh, okay. Diane S., thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate that. Okay, so Mrs. P said that North Shore will be on in about 15 minutes or so. So I'll go an extra 5 or 10 here, and I'll try to catch up a little bit. Kiss my grits. I'm glad I don't have family now. At least my dogs listen to me. Yeah, you're doing better than me. My dogs kind of listen to me. Jen Boyles, love your videos. Pinball and Mrs. Pinball. Thank you from both of us. I mean, trust me, she's as much part of this. I'm just a face, okay? I'm the talking head. She's the brains behind the operation. Wood Knots. Whoops. And it just shot up on me. And I was starting to read what you said, and I lost it. And I'm going to probably miss you, buddy. I'm sorry. Patty Bob says, can we get a link to his channel, please? Pinball. Can one of my mods put up a link for Letters to King? Constantine is going, Lorna P says, Constantine is going live 4 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. Okay, great. Good, because that's about when I'm going to need a break tomorrow. Let's see where else we got. Okay, Treasures in Kentucky said the same thing. Yeah, Porsche Panache. I loved his Russian grocery shop that equaled 20 American dollars. I remember watching that when it was, about a week or so ago. The funniest thing I got in there was him pouring the fresh milk out of the machine into the bottle. I mean, that just reminded me of being a kid in the 70s with the milkman coming and a little silver box we had on the porch. South Colorado Setter says, I liked when he went to the Navalny protest. Yeah, I mean, this is what I met Constantine by a recommendation by one of y'all. And I got in touch with him, and we did that video, and he wants to do another one on his channel where he asks me questions. We haven't got to that yet. But yeah, I mean, we've established a friendship and everything like that. I enjoy listening to him. He's a very smart man, and I enjoy listening to what he has to say. He educates me, which I appreciate. You know, anything that can educate me, I'm always open for. I mean, I'll never be too old to learn. Prepper Brian Keith, I see 100 of Constantine channels. Which one is his? Somebody's going to put the link up. I'm trying to catch up. Letters to King. That is his channel. Henry Fonda. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So all the stuff. North Shore says, I'll go live in 15 or so. Diane asks, I want to know why Hunter Biden's house didn't get raided. Yeah, because Rudy Giuliani's did. Somebody figured that one out. Mrs. Gray says, Happy Easter to Mrs. Pinball.
Thank you.
And she said, thank you. And you beat me to it because I didn't even realize it. My bad. My bad, honey. Let's see. Prepper Branky. Okay, somebody. It's North Shores. There we go. North Shore's got it up there. Letters to King. Okay, good. Michael S. Get some honest Amish organic beard oil and balm. Soaps are the best. What? Because you don't like me doing this? All right. Guys, okay, it's about 6 after. I'm going to clean up everything I've got to do on my end. I'll bounce over to Sean's North Shore's live chat here for a little bit before I go to bed. But thank you all for a little extended time. And, you know, God bless everybody. Y'all have no idea how much y'all mean to me. And I appreciate it more than you guys know, just the conversation that we have back and forth. I love reading the comments. I try to read as many as I can. I find that I do miss some, but you know, guys, just know you're all in my heart, and you know, we are family. Sister Sledge. Okay. Y'all have a good Saturday night. We'll see you over at North Shores. Pinball out.